Hello, everyone. So this is a writing lesson geared towards a CLB 4-5 class, English for Academic Purposes. And in this lesson, we will be focusing on how to write a 5-sentence paragraph. The skill focus will be on writing, and a PowerPoint presentation will accompany this lesson. So a full lesson would be about 60 minutes long. And the learning outcome for this lesson is that students will be able to write an organized 5-sentence paragraph. The enabling objectives for this lesson are that students will be able to recognize a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence within a 5-sentence paragraph. And also for the focused activity, students will be able to organize a jumbled paragraph arranging the sentences in the correct order and be able to point out the topic sentence, supporting sentence, and concluding sentences. So in order to do this lesson, students will have already be able to understand a simple sentence structure. They'll be able to identify and utilize the different parts of speech, and they will be able to write several sentences coherently and fluently. All right, so let's get started. Good morning, students. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. I'd like to start off our lesson by asking you a question. Is eating seafood healthy for us? So just take a minute and brainstorm and list several pros and cons to eating seafood. Okay, well, some of the pros we came up with as a class are fish contains a lot of protein. Fish are good sources of omega-3 and 6. There are many different varieties of seafood and fish to choose from, and it could very well be part of our culture. Some of the cons to eating seafood is that most of the fish now come from polluted lakes and oceans. Some fish have really high toxic levels that aren't good for us. Some kinds of fish and seafood can be really expensive to buy. And most fish are raised in fish farms. So we really don't know the quality of the fish that we're getting. So now that we've talked about some of the pros and cons to having seafood and whether it's healthy for us, I would like you to just put that on the back burner for right now, and we're going to be coming back to that in a minute. So for today's lesson, we're going to be focusing on how to write a 5-sentence paragraph. And a paragraph is more than just a bunch of sentences strung together. So in order for it to be a paragraph, it's made up of 5 to 6 sentences. It is very well thought out and organized, and it's to the point. Each sentence has a purpose in the paragraph. So there are no real sentences that are just put there. Every sentence that we write has a purpose and it relates to our topic. A paragraph also talks about only one main idea. So all the other sentences in our paragraph are going to talk about or relate to our main idea. So what does a paragraph look like? Well, when we're writing a paragraph, we can kind of think of it as making a burger or a sandwich. So I want you to pretend for a moment that you're making a burger. When we make a burger, we need 3 main ingredients. We need a top bun, the meat and the condiments in the middle, and then we need a bottom bun. When we write a 5-sentence paragraph, it's done very much the same way. So for our top bun, we have our topic sentence. For the meat and the condiments in the middle, that will be our 3 supporting sentences. And for our bottom bun, that's going to be our conclusion that repeats our topic in some way. So now that we know what a 5-sentence paragraph looks like, let's look at each of the individual components that make up the paragraph. So first we have the top bun. That was our topic sentence. So the top bun is the topic sentence of our paragraph. The reader knows exactly what the paragraph is about when they read your topic sentence. So let's go back to the ideas we came up for whether eating fish and seafood is healthy for us. If we use this theme of eating fish and seafood, a topic sentence we could come up with could look like this. Eating fish may not be brain food at all. This topic sentence isn't very long, it's quite short, but it gets right to the point. This topic sentence, eating fish may not be brain food after all, tells the reader exactly what this paragraph is going to be about. So even though they aren't reading the rest of the paragraph yet, they know just based on this one sentence that this is what our entire paragraph is going to be built around. All right, let's look at our supporting sentences. So if you remember from before, the supporting sentences are the meat and the condiments that's in the burger. So we'll have 3 supporting sentences in our paragraph. We need 1 or 2 specific details and an example to make our main idea strong. So we could say, our lakes and oceans are polluted and it's affecting the fish. So that's our one specific detail. Our second specific detail could be, scientists are now concerned with the amount of toxins that people are consuming when eating fish. And then our third, which would be an example, we could say it is recommended that people limit their intake of fish to 2 servings per week. So each of those supporting sentences, there's 3 of them, support our main idea that eating fish may not be brain food after all. So let's look at the paragraph that we have so far. We have our topic sentence, eating fish may not be brain food after all. Then we have our supporting sentences. Our first one, our lakes and oceans are polluted and it is affecting the fish. Our second supporting sentence, scientists are now concerned with the amount of toxins that people are consuming when eating fish. And our third supporting sentence, it is recommended that people limit their intake of fish to 2 servings a week. So we have our topic sentence, we have our 3 supporting sentences, and now we need to actually end our paragraph. So when we end our paragraph, it's like putting the bottom bun on the bottom of our burger to finish the burger altogether. So the bottom bun of our burger is our final or concluding sentence in our 5-sentence paragraph. It also gives us a chance to remind our reader what the topic of our paragraph is, and it kind of pulls all our ideas together. So for this paragraph on whether eating seafood is healthy for us, eating fish, we could say, therefore, people need to be smart about the amount of fish they eat. Too much isn't good for any part of our body. So let's look at the paragraph put together completely. Okay, so when we put the topic sentence, the 3 supporting sentences, and the concluding sentence together, the paragraph will look like this. We start with a title. Is eating fish a good way to stay healthy? That was our question that we started with, and this is what the paragraph looks like now. Eating fish may not be brain food after all. Our lakes and oceans are polluted, and it is affecting the fish. Scientists are now concerned with the amount of toxins that the people are consuming when eating fish. It is recommended that people limit their intake of fish to 2 servings per week. Therefore, people need to be smart about the amount of fish that they eat. Too much isn't good for any part of your body. So let's say that paragraph together as a class. Ready? Eating fish may not be brain food after all. Our lakes and oceans are polluted, and it is affecting the fish. Scientists are now concerned with the amount of toxins that people are consuming when eating fish. It is recommended that people limit their intake of fish to 2 servings per week. Therefore, people need to be smart about the amount of fish they eat. Too much isn't good for any part of your body. So we clearly have our topic sentence, which is the very first sentence of our paragraph. We have our 3 supporting sentences, and the paragraph ends with the concluding sentence. And you can kind of see that transition word there, therefore. So usually when we see a transition word, therefore, or lastly, or in conclusion, we know that that's going to be the final sentence, the concluding sentence of our paragraph. Okay, does anyone have any questions about topic sentences, supporting sentences, or concluding sentences? Okay, that's great. So let's move into our practice activity. So for our practice activity, I have a paragraph structure activity for you. You're going to start by doing this activity on your own. And then once you're done, you're going to be pointing out the topic sentence, the 3 supporting sentences, and the concluding sentence to a partner. So this is what you need to do. This paragraph is a 5-sentence paragraph. It is not in the correct order. All these sentences are out of order and they're jumbled up. So I would like you to rewrite this paragraph in the correct order and then show your partner the topic sentence, 3 supporting sentences, and the concluding sentence. So let's look at each of these sentences together. So the first sentence, first, Canada has an excellent healthcare system. All Canadians have access to medical services at a reasonable price. Our second sentence, as a result, Canada is a desirable place to live. Third sentence, Canada is one of the best countries in the world to live in. Fourth sentence, second, Canada has a high standard of education. Students are taught by well-trained teachers and are encouraged to continue studying at university. And our last sentence, finally, Canada's cities are clean and efficiently managed. Canadian cities have many parks and lots of space for people to live. All right, so what sentence are we looking for first? That's right, we're going to be starting with our topic sentence. Then look for your supporting sentences, there'll be 3 of them, and then finally find your concluding sentence and rewrite the paragraph in the way it's supposed to go. I'll be walking around the classroom and helping anyone that needs help. And once we are done and we've discussed our paragraphs with a partner, we will look at it together as a class. Thanks.